Why passwords fail, even when they're strong. Strong passwords do not fail because they are weak. They fail because systems trust them more than they should. In this video, we're going to look at why passwords fail even when they are technically strong, and what that reveals about how security systems actually break. At a basic level, a password is a shared secret. Both you and the system know the same piece of information. If you can present it, the system assumes you are the legitimate user. This model is simple, cheap, and widely compatible. That is why passwords still exist. But simplicity comes with assumptions. The most important assumption is this: if someone knows the secret, they must be the right person. Security systems built around passwords rely entirely on this belief. They do not ask how the secret was obtained. They do not ask whether it was copied. They do not ask whether it is being used by the same person who created it. They only check whether it matches. This is why password strength is often misunderstood. Length and complexity only affect how difficult a password is to guess. They do nothing to prevent copying. If an attacker can copy a password, its strength becomes irrelevant. A strong password and a weak password behave the same once exposed. Most real-world password failures are not guessing attacks, they are exposure attacks. Passwords are reused across systems. They are entered into fake sites. They are captured by malware. They are stored insecurely. They are revealed through recovery mechanisms. In all of these cases, the password remains technically correct. The system accepts it because it cannot tell the difference. Phishing is a good example. When a user enters a password into a phishing site, the attacker does not break the password. They simply ask for it. From the system's perspective, the authentication attempt looks valid. The password matches. The identity claim appears correct. The system has no visibility into how the secret was obtained. This is not a failure of cryptography. It is a failure of trust assumptions. Another common failure comes from password reuse. Humans reuse passwords because remembering many unique secrets is difficult. Systems tolerate this because enforcing uniqueness has a cost. Attackers exploit this gap by testing exposed passwords across multiple services. Each individual system may be secure in isolation. The ecosystem is not. Recovery paths create another weakness. Password resets exist to help legitimate users regain access. But these paths often bypass the strongest controls. If an attacker can compromise the recovery mechanism, the password no longer matters. In many systems, the recovery process becomes the real authentication boundary. It is also important to understand what passwords do not provide. Passwords do not prove presence. They do not prove intent. They do not prove that the user is interacting directly with the system. They only prove knowledge of a secret. Security systems often mistake knowledge for identity. That mistake is at the core of most password failures. Despite all of this, passwords continue to be used. They persist because they are universal, low-cost, and easy to deploy. Replacing them introduces complexity, friction, and new failure modes. Security is always a trade-off. Passwords are not used because they are ideal. They are used because they are acceptable. The real lesson from password failures is not that passwords are bad. It is that security systems must be honest about what passwords can and cannot prove. When systems treat passwords as strong indicators of identity, they fail. When they treat them as weak signals that require context and constraints, they fail less often. Passwords fail because trust is misplaced. Not because the math is wrong, not because users are careless, but because systems assume certainty where none exists. Understanding this is the first step toward understanding how real security failures happen. In the next video, we will look at how attackers exploit trust directly and why many security controls fail even when they are implemented correctly.